Cheers, guys. Welcome back to another video. This one is important. This one's very important. And I'm feeling like now is the perfect time to dive into this subject because you are so much more than the way that people have treated you and the things that you have gone through. Oftentimes, especially when we dive into self-development content, we can tend to lean into the direction of taking full responsibility, which is a great thing, and it is an empowering thing. However, there's different points and different times of the journey that we need to respect and allow ourselves to also accept as well. There's more nuance to it. It's not black and white. I've spoken many times about how as human beings, we tend to gravitate towards this black and white thinking. It's either this way or it's either that way. It's completely this way or it's completely this way. Where there's oftentimes much more gray. There's much more gray in between. All right, so understanding that first and foremost is imperative on this journey. But the thing that I want to really get across right now is that most of us, if we are on this journey, and likely if you clicked on this video, you are here because you've gone through some shit. You've gone through some things. Maybe you have been betrayed. Maybe you have been mistreated. Maybe you've gone through abuse. Maybe you've been, and you've gone through something that a lot of people haven't experienced. Maybe you look around and say, why did this happen to me? What did I do to deserve this, right? These are all thoughts that we can have when we go through something that's traumatic, that is hard to get past, right? We have this, it's hard for us to let go sometimes when we go through these rough experiences because it's like, what did I do to deserve this, right? Especially when we are self-aware and we are on a path of growth and we are trying to improve ourselves, we're always looking to see, how did I play a role in this? Which oftentimes a lot of other people aren't willing to do, right? And the people that we come into contact with, all of their focus is on blaming the other person, right? Whereas we're the ones taking responsibility. We're the ones looking back at ourselves. Even when somebody else has done us wrong, we're looking at, how did I play a role in this, right? And so what's very important to know is that oftentimes when you have gone through this, whatever it might be, right? I can think of examples just from my childhood, even of, I had this one friend of mine. We were the best of friends. You couldn't pull us apart. Every weekend he was at my house. Every other weekend I was at his house having sleepovers, right? And one day I get to class, I get to school, and he just doesn't acknowledge me at all. He doesn't. And then he's like, I don't even remember now because I've blocked this out of my memory. This was back in third grade, I want to say. He said something like, get away from me or something. And it was just this total especially at being that young in third grade and seeking the comfort in that friendship that I had with how close friends we were, was just like a mind fuck, and I know that some of you have been through things like this as well. And not only at this point in your life, but you've gone through heartbreaks, betrayals, people that you thought were your best friends that had your back, turn around and they were completely not the person that you thought you were dealing with, right? Well, in that case, what had I done? I'm a third grader, right? Did I do anything to deserve that? No, I did not deserve anything to do that. And to this day, I still am not entirely sure what happened and why he did that. Now, I've had experiences like this. Now, I've also had friends in my life who've had my back. People that have, been there for me, had my back when things weren't going well for me, and been through there and everything in between, right? And so what I'm saying is that oftentimes it's not a reflection on you per se in these types of situations. A lot of the times, somebody else has their own demons. I've said this so many times on the channel, but we are co-creators of our reality here. We're not the single the single cause of every single thing in the outside. I mean, it's a ridiculous thing to think that I would be the cause of, pandemics across the world, or famines, or tornado in going. It doesn't make that. That's not a helpful belief to adopt, and I don't think that that's the case. Okay. But what I do think is the case is that we are actively co-creating our reality, and where we have our power, where we're able to step into our power, is the way that we move on from this situation. And that is what our test is on this planet. And I know that as somebody, like I said, when you're watching this video, you are somebody that wants to take responsibility. You want to take that radical accountability. You want to improve your life, improve yourself, become the best version of yourself. And that's why you're on this channel right now. That's why you're watching this. And part of that journey is learning to detach from what has been done to you, because it's not your fault. You do not blame yourself for things that people have done to you in your childhood, for the ways that people have treated you as an adult either. Oftentimes you are not at blame. You are not completely at fault for situations that arise. A lot of the times there's situations can be, especially when dealing with people, that can be very, very complicated. And I think that sometimes one thing that happens, especially on these channels, and a lot of the information that gets passed around, it's kind of this one size fits all thing. And I don't think that that's necessarily the case. I think that their situations can be very nuanced. But what's important for you to grasp is that by understanding that even though it wasn't your fault, whatever happened, it wasn't your fault, also understand that that is your test. That is the journey. That is a part of your journey. And now you are being tested, essentially, to say, are you going to be that person that lets that thing break you down, that lets you give up because somebody else said no to you, because somebody else said that you weren't good, because somebody else decided to mistreat you, betray you, whatever the case may have been? Or are you the type of person that's going to take that negative thing that happened and use that as, okay, well, if that's the best that you got, nothing's going to bring me down. I am resilient. I bounce back from things. I am anti-fragile, right? The more things that happen, the more that somebody tries to tell me no, the more that somebody tries to tell me that I'm not good enough, the more reasons and the more that I will prove to myself that I can do it, that I am valuable, that I am, and it's not even about proving it to the other person as much as it is proving it to yourself. As much as it is knowing and embracing that fact about yourself, because you are valuable. In like I said, you are so much more than the way that people have treated you, than the way that the things that have happened to you. You are a unique human being. I mean, it is a miracle right now that you exist in this time. Out of all the sperm and all the DNA that could have possibly came together from your mom and your father, that you exist here right now in this point in time is an absolute miracle. And we get so caught up, comparing ourselves and looking at, oh, well, this person has this and this person's doing this. But the key is that you are a one-of-a-kind individual. And if somebody doesn't respect you, if somebody doesn't see the value in you, it is not a reflection on your inherent value. A lot of the times, it's a reflection on their inability to see that value in you. A lot of people have a lot of inner demons. A lot of people, they suffer from, some people, especially nowadays, a lot of people are literally mentally ill. They're suffering from some sort of mental illness. They're suffering from drug abuse. They are battling their own inner demons. They are going through all kinds of things. They feel their self-worth is in the gutter, right? And so if you are somebody that is growing, you are somebody that is putting out, you are emitting this positive light, a lot of the times people don't like that. It shines a light on their deficiencies. When you are shining this bright light, when you are emanating out this positive energy everywhere that you go, you're going to turn people off. You're going to ruffle some feathers by doing this, simply by being you, by existing in this dynamic and expressive way that God has put you on this earth to do. You are going to piss some people off. And I've seen it in my own life. And, unfortunately, with that friend of mine that I mentioned back in elementary school, we didn't have Facebook back at the time. We didn't have Instagram and stuff. And so I can't, actually, funny enough, I've actually never looked him up. I'm actually really curious right now. I still remember his first and last name. And yeah, it's not like he had a really unique name. So of course I'm not getting like any, the exact, probably if I dug around, I could find him. But I know people even from middle school, from high school that I've seen in more recent years. And a lot of the people that, kind of just did me dirty or weren't good friends, didn't turn out to be authentic, genuine people in my life. I've seen them as of lately, and they don't look that great. They don't look very healthy. They look like they have been doing drugs. A lot of people from my past, literally, there's quite a few of them that literally aren't even here anymore because of some sort of overdose. They got into trouble. They got into, violence, things of this nature, right? And so what I'm saying, guys, that's not the point of this either, is like, oh, look at them and to compare yourself. It's just to say that a lot of people are struggling out here, and you may not realize it. And especially if you're young watching this, you might be in high school, college, or even as a young adult afterwards, people are really, really lost. They're putting on a facade. They're acting like they know what they're doing. They're acting like they have their stuff together, like they have it all figured out, and they don't. And time will reveal this. As I've gone on in years here, and now I'm seeing the fact that, yeah, when I was in high school, when I was in college, it's easy to kind of put on this facade, right? And you could literally be putting your health in the gutter. You could be making really terrible decisions, really bad life choices. But on the surface, at that time in your life, when you're 20 years old, it's not really going to show up that much. You could be eating fast food, doing drugs, and it's not that apparent, right? By the time you reach even your mid-20s, let alone your 30s, it's going to be very, very apparent the types of trajectories and the types of choices that that people are making in their lives, guys. And so, again, not to compare, but what I am saying is that a lot of these people have very, very unhealthy. They're very, very unhealthy physically, but also mentally and emotionally. People are extremely unhealthy emotionally. And what I'm saying to you right now is that it's not always you. We've been told this a million times in this community that everything is you pushed out and all of this stuff. And it's like, on one hand, that can be helpful, but there's also another side to this story. There's also another side to the fact that, look, you could be doing all the best things. You could be putting out positive energy. There's people in my life that I have done nothing but sought to be, and in my opinion, was a completely positive influence in their life. And these people have gone around and, literally stabbed me in the back when there was nothing that I had ever done of any ill intention to these people. And for me to go and say, oh, this was all my fault that this person does that, that is being delusional. And I want you to understand that as well. I want you to understand that when somebody does something that's wrongful to you, when you haven't done anything to warrant this, that is not your fault. And you are much, much greater than the things that people have done to you, the things that people have said to you, and the things that you have been through. And I want you to understand that at a deep, deep core level. And I want you to take this and run with it and go into the days, weeks, and even months to come, just realizing how worthy of a person that you are, especially by being here, by seeking, by being somebody on a path of seeking knowledge and trying to become a better version of yourself. You're the type of person that this world needs more of. And it's a shame that those people didn't recognize your worth. It's a shame that those people didn't see your value. It's a shame for them. But ultimately, they're the ones that are going to lose out. You're going to see. Time will tell you. Time will show you, just as it's shown me. And I want you to be confident in that. I want you to know that no matter what is going on outside, that you have made this decision, that you are love, you are prosperity, and you are within your own self in this box right here. No matter what happens externally to me, no matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody does to me or how anybody treats me, I'm chosen. I'm confident. I am going to be living with a light heart. I refuse to go and stoop to the level of these other people that have poison in their hearts. They have black hearts, and I refuse to stoop to that level. I refuse to entertain and attach to negative emotions that somebody is trying to project onto me. And there's many exercises you can do. There's a cutting the cords exercise. It's a meditation where simply, if you have a situation that you're dealing with right now, whether it is a ex-partner, it could be an ex-friend of yours, somebody in your life that you want to cut that energetic tie with, you can imagine these cords of energy going from you and that situation or that person. You can also do this in social situations to allow yourself to be more free flowing and more expressive and not be so fearful or stifled socially. But imagine this cord and imagine yourself cutting these cords. Now I could do a full video with kind of outlining this practice as well as some others that could kind of help you as sort of meditative and visualization type aids on this, with this intention being to cut these ties. But the point being that you are more powerful than this. This is your opportunity to show the world, to show the universe that you are unfazed, that not only are you not going to be negatively affected by the way that somebody has treated you, but it's made you stronger. And that's the perspective that you can take too, especially once you've detached a little bit, use that law of detachment a bit, detach from the situation a bit. Now you're going to be able to see that, look, even though, and when you'll see this is evident as well, that when you look back at your life, when I look back at certain situations, I could mention situations more from my past, right, that were extremely hurtful to me at the time. And not only were they hurtful, but when I look back at them now, I think that, yes, those emotions, going through that pain hurt, but that's also made me who I am. It's also made me a stronger version of myself. If I didn't go through any of these trials, any of these tribulations, then, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. I wouldn't be the person that's sitting here speaking to you right now. So all of this is valuable for you to understand. But with that being said, guys, I really appreciate all the love on the channel. I really appreciate you being here right now. And I can't wait to look forward to your success. If nobody else has said this to you lately, I believe in you, and I know that you deserve good things in your life. Even if your life hasn't been showing you that lately, even if you haven't been getting the reflections of it back reflected to you, and you've been putting yourself out there, you've been putting positive intentions towards people, and they've met it with malice or hate, or judgment, or whatever it is that they've met it with. I see you for you. And when I meet people, when I see people, I've met people that have come up to me that have recognized me from my videos or whatever. I can feel your positive energy, and I value you, and I value each and every single one of you that's on this channel, and I believe in you. With that being said, much love as always, and I will see you guys in the next video.